Hi everyone, welcome to Tribe of Zion. Today we are going to talk about what to do when you are afraid. We will start with our memory verse for today, which is from Isaiah 41 verse 10. And here is a song to help you remember it.
Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not fear, for I am with you. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. I will strengthen you and help you. Isaiah 41:10.
So what happens when you feel fear? First, your brain sends a special message to your body to either face the danger or run away. Typically, when you run away, it is often because you're trying to keep safe. For example, running away from a barking dog or a hissing cat or staying away from something hot. But fear can also be bad for you when it keeps you from learning new things or making new friends. What are some things that make us afraid? First day of school can be scary for some people. Going to the doctor for some others. Listening to grown-ups fight, learning a new skill, or when someone you love gets sick. But more importantly, the important question we need to ask is, what can we do when we feel fear? First, I want you to know that everyone feels fear sometimes, and God's presence is always with you, and you can trust God to take care of you or whatever situation made you afraid. One time in the Bible, the disciples were afraid too. Let's take a look at what happened, how they got afraid, and how they dealt with it.
It's time for a Bible story. A long time ago in the land of Israel, Jesus and his disciples spent the day doing what they loved to do most.
Let me guess. Making sandwiches.
Nope, teaching. Jesus was talking to people and preaching the gospel all day long. When evening came, Jesus told his disciples to jump on a boat and cross the Sea of Galilee.
All right, just a little evening cruise action, huh? Nice and peaceful trip across the lake. Nice, sounds pretty nice.
Well, it started out that way, but shortly after they pushed off and started to travel across, something happened that wasn't so great.
They were attacked by a giant sea monster. Ah! Run! Swim for your lives!
No, that's not what happened at all. First, the wind started to blow. Then, the waves started to pick up, and the rain began to pour, and pretty soon, their boat was in the middle of a huge storm.
Ah, yikes. Well, it's okay. At least they're in like a huge, big old cruise ship, right? No big deal.
Not quite. They didn't have boats like that back then. They were actually in a little wooden ship, like this.
Whoa, that is not so big. That thing was out in the middle of the sea in a storm?
Yeah, man.
That sounds terrifying. I bet Jesus and the disciples were so scared. They were probably totally freaking out.
Well, the disciples were pretty scared, but Jesus, not so much. In fact, Jesus was asleep during the whole storm.
Seriously? How in the world could someone sleep in a time like this? Look, the boat's rocking all over the place, water's splashing everywhere, the wind and waves are going crazy. They're just on a little tiny boat, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Okay, calm down. That is true, but Jesus wasn't afraid. He knew that his Father God is a good father, and that he would do anything to keep them safe because he loves them.
Okay, so what happened next?
Well, the storm kept getting worse and worse, and the disciples really started to freak out. They ran to Jesus and woke him up, frantically worried about how he could be sleeping during this storm.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is sleeping during a storm.
Jesus got up, and the disciples all watched with wide eyes to see what he would do as he calmly walked to the front of the boat. He raised his hands to the clouds, and he commanded the storm to be still. Immediately, the wind stopped, and the water was completely calm.
Dude, that is awesome. He totally canceled the whole storm. Just like that? That's amazing. I bet the disciples couldn't believe their eyes.
Actually, you're right. They were totally surprised that Jesus did that. But he asked them why they were surprised.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean? He was surprised that they were surprised? I mean, there's a lot of surprise happening here.
Well, yeah. Jesus knew that his Father loved his children and that he is powerful enough to do anything for them. This is why Jesus wasn't afraid of anything while he was here on earth. He knew that his Father loved him and would take care of him.
Oh, gotcha. So that's why he wasn't afraid of the storm or like surprised that God came through for him?
Exactly. He was able to teach the disciples a very important lesson.
That 2 + 2 is 4.
No.
That yellow and blue make green.
That's true, but no.
That it's impossible to lick your own elbow.
Oh, gross. Stop doing that. And no, it's much more important than that. Jesus was trying to get them to simply trust in God, their Father, who loved them and would take care of them. When we know how much our Father loves us, fear flies out the window.
Ah, good point. That's a lot more important than math or colors or licking stuff. So after that, I bet they wouldn't have to be afraid of anything else that came their way, huh?
Yeah, technically that would make sense.
Like a giant sea monster attack!
What? No, get that thing out of here. There aren't any sea monsters out there.
Debatable, but I'm just saying if there were, we wouldn't have to be afraid of them, right?
Okay, you got me there.
Aha, a conundrum!
Yeah. The end.
As you saw in that story, Jesus took care of the disciples by calming the storm when they were afraid. So same thing applies to us. Whenever we feel afraid, we can call out to Jesus to help us. And just like he was with the disciples and helped them, he is with us and will help us. So whenever you feel afraid, remember, Jesus is always with you and he will take care of you. And that's our lesson for today. It was great hanging out with you. Have a good day. Bye.